I was called on my mission in 1990 and came here in October 1990 with Elder Bradbury to open up Kiev and the southern part of the Soviet Union at that stage. And we started off here in October with a small list of a few people with contacts that had been made by diligent missionaries and other interested people who'd collected names, and they'd compiled them in the Austria-Vienna East Mission. I was here in September 1991 when Elder Packer and Elder Oakes arrived here to dedicate the land of the Ukraine for the preaching of the gospel. At that stage we had 91 members baptised and the church had been registered as an organisation. And to hear within 7 years later that President Hinckley announced that a temple will be built in this land, in this very city, was amazing. I was actually living in Moscow at the time, funnily enough, happened to be here working. I'd just gotten married, and then to see 12 years later finally this edifice constructed and now a prophet of God here to dedicate it is really an amazing fulfillment within less than 2 decades to think that that could transpire. Certainly wonderful when we pulled in here to see Moroni, his statue peering across the probably the entire city of Kiev and millions of people here. To see just the wonderful grounds, the grass, just the flowers, the trees, and then to see all the wonderful people yesterday at the concert, to feel the love in their hearts, the blessedness, I suppose, of those people. To walk around this building, it brought a tear to my eye as I came around the side of it and just looked up at the very height of it and thought, it's amazing that this building is here. I saw the Melbourne Temple get dedicated some 10 years ago, but to see this was just something else, and obviously to feel just the strength in the people. When I left, there was a tear in one man's eye thinking that what are we going to do without you, and this is what they've done. You know, to think how the Lord has blessed these people, how the strength of the gospel has just permeated their souls and led to this, to this, and to see people from all parts of, from Minsk and from Odessa and Russia and other parts of the Soviet Union, to see that how this has come to fruition is, well, it's a dream. I don't even know if the word's a dream or it's just a fantasy. There's actually a reality that's come true. So, well, certainly not. I certainly can remember President Biddulph. I was on mission president in 1961. He was travelling here as part of his profession as a political scientist and going through some small village, thinking, imagine if there was a branch here someday, and that took nearly 30 years for him to come by and see just a branch formed within this place. I think within 20 years, but not just a branch, but a whole stake, and now a whole temple will be built here. I mean, I guess we imagined or hoped these things perhaps would come true, but I guess I never really envisaged that this would really take place. So these blessings that Elder Packer talked about, sometimes you don't think of them necessarily like this is really going to happen. This is a hope. This is a belief. This is something we will work towards. Will it really actually going to happen? And yet it has happened, and here it is on August 19, 2010. We're standing with a dedicated temple and hundreds of Latter-day Saints, from all parts of the country, and then sitting in buildings around the city here, dedicated chapels. Tremendous. Something, in Australia it took us decades. It took us till 1961 to get our first stake, and till 2000 to get our first temple. And they'd had missionaries there for maybe 100 years, even earlier perhaps missionaries had arrived in Australia. And yet to see here in Ukraine such seemingly a short time is really incredible.